Hey folks, and so good evening, and a friendly reminder on both sides of the table, as you see in the front of the room, we have the two mic stands. So the mics are super sensitive, and their purpose is to enable more fluid board member convo. So in theory, as long as you project and speak towards the front, the mic should hear you. And so when we do rewatch the streaming and stuff, like, let us know if, you had said something, but it doesn't sound like the audio picked it up or anything. So this meeting of Brooklyn Community Board 14 is called to order on Monday, January 12, 2026 at 7:02 p.m. under the applicable statutes of New York State, the Charter of New York City, the board's bylaws, and Robert's Rules of Order. And so the board's policy is to encourage public discussion of matters before the board at our committee meetings and at public hearings. Consequently, except by board members, there will be no public discussion at our regularly monthly meeting of matters about which a public hearing or committee meeting has been held. Specific service delivery requests or complaints should be brought to the attention of the district's office staff by calling the board office during regular business hours or by visiting our website anytime. And other matters of civic interest may be brought before the board during our scheduled public comment period, which will begin tonight after all other business on the board's monthly meeting agenda has been concluded. And just another reminder, please, no partisan political appeals or advertising of for-profit enterprises will be heard. And persons wishing to speak during the public comment period were asked to pre-register. And so, to kick things off, could the secretary please call the roll?
Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year.
Good evening.
Shahibzada Sabir Ahmad. Wahil Ahmed. Carissa Alfonso.
Present.
Gregory Alvarez.
Here.
Hindi Bendel.
Present.
Benjamin Bendet.
Here.
Davina Bolanot.
Here.
Christopher Bromson.
Present.
Carl Henry Cesar.
Present.
Florencia Changajita, present. Yvette Claire-Jean. Elizabeth Dennis.
Present.
Lisa Derrick. Joseph Dweck. Royson Ford. Gerald Gray.
Here.
Suzanne Hargett.
Present.
Musa Hassoun.
Here.
Ian Hayes.
Here.
Mordecai Husarski.
Present.
Kasif Hussein. Nautica Johnson. Erica Phillips Jones. Kirsty Jutila.
Here.
Shahid Khan. Nicole Levinson Angulo.
Here.
Alex Lesman.
Here.
Donald Loggins.
Present.
Sasha Masluski. Melissa Minnick.
Present.
Ephraim Nierenberg. Asma Nusi. Eric Ost.
Present.
Ornella Parker.
Present.
Nora Pena.
Here.
Susan Phillips.
Present.
Svi Plotska. Barton Prasant. Bazaruhi. Nina Sapgir.
Here.
Joel Siegel.
Here.
Gail L. Smith. Alexa Summers.
Here.
Tova Svenberg. Rolanda Telesford Hasted.
Present.
Abraham Trapp. Deborah Valentin.
Here.
Alana Wilson. We have a
Thank you very much for confirming that, Secretary. So next up, the meeting minutes. And so, District Manager Campbell, did we receive any proposed changes to the December 2025 minutes for email?
We did not.
Okay, so then do we have any proposed changes for the December 2025 minutes from the floor? Okay, so seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the December 2025 minutes?
Second.
Okay, so all those abstaining, any ineligible to vote? Any opposed? So the motion carries. And so next up, the district manager's report.
Thank you very much, and Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back. We have, a lot of changes in the city, and as the new administration takes place and new commissioners are put in place, we look forward to working with new teams and some people who are staying, and we will strive to make the city ever better. With that in mind, one of the projects I've been working on recently is to write some congratulatory letters to new commissioners and bring to their attention some of the top line issues that we have with their departments in order to raise awareness and hopefully get off to a really good start. I did provide an update at the last meeting about Newkirk Plaza, and I want to thank Mary Kay Sirius here, Assemblymember Carroll's office. The Assemblymember sits on the a whole bunch of stuff, but including authorities committee in the Assembly, and as such worked with us to bring our sense of urgency about Newkirk Plaza and our hope that it turns into a pedestrian plaza under DOT's program to the attention of leadership at MTA. And it looks like there might be some movement, and hopefully in March they're moving to contract to do the first step they have to do. In my, general impatience with almost everything, but also the fact that we've been working on this for what, like 3 decades, and really, really diligently, Greg, since the DOT Plaza program was put in place for the last decade. And so this idea of a March contract doesn't really comport with the sense that we were given before. So I'm really going to be working to stay on it and make sure that our elected officials are holding them accountable to this most recent promise of moving this forward. Since we last met, there were a lot of holidays, so there weren't a lot of meetings in between, but I did attend the government ops public hearing. There had been, and I believe it's been withdrawn at least for the time being, but there had been a proposal in City Council to raise City Council salaries. And some colleagues and I went to that hearing because we recognized that the reasoning for that potential pay raise was the exact same reasoning that we had brought to the attention of Council back in the spring to the same committee for the need for community board baseline budget increases. The council had opined on a salary increase because they hadn't had one in 10 years, and so we reminded the same group that we hadn't had a budget increase in 20 years. And so we're going to continue to advocate for that because, as many of you know, we're really up against the limits of our budget. It's harder to do things like our youth conference. We are very lucky to have member items from Councilmember Rita Joseph's office and Councilmember Farrah Lewis's office that's helping us get over this sort of hump. And and then also I'm going hat in hand to our community-based organizations that should be getting government support and asking them for government charity instead. So thanks to the donations of COPO and the support from the Y, we're able to do these things, but hope that the board members and community members will support our advocacy to make sure that we have adequate resources to, take on the additional responsibilities that have been given to us, the higher and really totally reasonable higher expectations of the public that we serve. I'll be sending out a letter to our council members. I'm just waiting to see who lands in Speaker Menon when she appoints the new GovOps chair and the new Finance Committee chair and council. We'll CC them on the 3.5 to 4-page letter that's in draft right now. And I did, speaking of Speaker Menon, I did see her she gave a talk at the city law school. It was before, she was just the presumptive speaker at the time, but we're really looking forward to working with the new council as well. I'm going to leave it there, and you know where to find us if you need us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, District Manager Campbell. So a couple things, and so there's a couple people here representing various elected officials and other officials' offices, so I'm going to call them out in order. It doesn't mean that I love you guys more than the other. This is just the order I'm calling you out in. And so we have Nancy Lulu from the Brooklyn DA's office, and so thank you very much, Nancy. We have Ellie Slavin from Congresswoman Yvette Clark's office, so thank you very much for coming as always. We have Mary Kay Siri from Assemblymember Carroll's office, so thank you very much for coming. We have Britt Bird from VP Reynosa's office, so Britt, thank you for coming as well. We have Megan Fleming White from Councilmember Farrah Lewis's office, so thank you very much for coming. We have Noam Abrams from Senator Sutton's office, and so thank you very much for coming as well. And then we also have Venus Scantleberry from the CCRB, and so thank you very much for coming as well. And so we come to the chair's report, but before I do that, I have to give out some much long overdue flowers. And so the first flowers that I'm going to give are for Florencia Changajita. And so, yep. You look surprised, Florencia, but you drive through all 5 boroughs every day. So this is not a surprise. I'm not wrong, it's true. And so I'm going to read the citation. And so on behalf of Assemblymember Brian Cunningham, we proudly present this citation of Florencia Changajita for her outstanding service and unwavering dedication to the CB14 community. Through her leadership as Secretary of the Board, Co-Chair of the Community Safety Committee, and Executive Member of the 70th Precinct Community Council, she has championed safety, healing, and compassion across our district. Her tireless advocacy, charitable work, and kind spirit make her awesome. And so I put the awesome at the end of there. That's not on there. Yeah, but it's well-deserved. You're awesome. Yeah. And so round of applause for Florencia, and then yes.
Congratulations.
Much deserved.
Well.
Yeah. It's well-deserved surprise. So the second set of flowers we're given is to Nancy Lulu. And so, yes. And so, Nancy, we meant to give this to you at our end-of-year reception, but we know because you're busy and everything, there are also like competing obligations that evening. And so I'm going to read it here with grateful recognition of your outstanding service to our community. Brooklyn Community Board 14 hereby presents the Certificate of Appreciation to Nancy Lulu, the Public Engagement Associate for the Kings County District Attorney's Office. All right, and so now we get into the chair's report. And so I hope folks did ring in the new year well. There's a couple of things on here, but hopefully I don't take too much time. And so I want to lead off with the fact that on January 19th, next Monday, that is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And so I urge us to remember some important tenets, and I keep repeating these tenets because they're important. So the first one is freedom and justice are not one and done ideals. The second one is that because it is a lifelong commitment to ensure that every single person's civil liberties are safe, respected, and valued, especially those who are less fortunate, it's especially important to remember that while it is a long journey and it's a hard one, it can be extremely rewarding to work with your fellow human being in service of others. And so that's all I'm going to say, but I say that every time because I think that's important and I believe it to be true. So I wanted to leave off with that. The next thing is taking a physical and a metaphorical plunge. And so for New Year's, Sean, I, and a bunch of other people, we do the Coney Island polar bear plunge. Yeah, we do. Yeah. Yeah. Well, because would you get into that water? Absolutely. Okay, that's cool then. So so now you heard it here first. You can check the live stream on January 2027. We're going to ask you, and we'll see what happens. All right. Oh, man. Oh, now you're getting everyone else in here. The other board members are like, why is this a we thing? And so we do this for a couple of years, and basically, you know, we go into the Atlantic Ocean, and then we go to Ruby's on the boardwalk and warm up for a bit, and then we go to Mermaid Spa, Russian Bathhouse, and Seagate, right? And then fun fact, this year we also bumped into Barton at Mermaid Spa. And so basically, no, he didn't. He's not about that life. And so it's funny because every year we do it, there's always something that says, this will be colder than the last. It will be windier than the last. The tide will be lower than the last. And then at the end of the day, you're like, oh, we did it. We're still alive and we're having a great time. And you go home and you pass out. It's the best nap ever, right? So I bring up this physical plunge because I'm trying to tie it into a metaphorical plunge for my introverts on CB14. And so I know there's a few introverts on CB14. You're all very thoughtful and engaged and thinking, and I love that. What I would love to see is for you to take that metaphorical plunge and for me and your fellow board members to hear your voice a little bit more. And I say that because you're thoughtful, I know you're thinking, I know you're processing things. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts. Your board members would love to hear your thoughts because that's also how we build connection. And then when I get really real, it's also because per the city charter and per what you signed up for as being a board member, you are one of 50 on a representative body for over 150,000 people who live in Community District 14. And so whatever concerns your neighbors are telling you or you're hearing about, I love the X-Men. I don't have telepathic powers, so I can't read your mind and know what your neighbors are thinking or don't think is going right. And so that's why I put that physical plunge and tied it to that metaphorical plunge, because I hope the CB14 waters aren't so cold and that windy that you'll get frostbite speaking your voice. But for my introverts, I would like to, over the course of the year, hear your voice a bit more, right? And then if at some point you do feel, and then jokes aside, if at some point you do feel unsafe or uncertain about doing that, please do not hesitate to chat with me or the district manager or the district officer or another board member and raise that, right? Just because I do pride myself on creating that kind of atmosphere. And so, you know, some folks do the physical plunge. You heard Ornella say she would do it next year, so we're gonna hold her to it. And then for my introverts, I'm asking you as well, dip some toes in the water and make your voice heard a little bit more. Yeah. And then, small thing on attendance, just a friendly reminder that make sure you're present for the roll call and stay until we adjourn. And if at some point you have some attendance challenges that are coming up, either now or in the future, please don't hesitate to let us know, and then we'll talk with you about that, okay? And then another thing too, I would be remiss not to thank a board member who no longer serves with us. And this individual is the wonderful Dawn Marie Walker. And so, yes, so Dawn Marie resigned, and she served on CB14 for over a decade, and she contributed in innumerable ways, right? So some of them being a member of the Transportation Committee and the Community Environment, Cultural Affairs, and Economic Development Committees. And furthermore, she was always a volunteer at the youth conference, and, you know, full stop, she was a respectful, gentle person who was extremely thoughtful, right? And so please join me in a round of applause for our former board member, Dawn Marie. Next up, Committee on Oversight and Investigations, jointly with the Committee on Criminal Justice. So on Wednesday, December 10th, I had time. So I attended a joint committee meeting at City Hall, and it was to hear testimony from the Department of Corrections and the public about the experience of folks visiting Rikers Island. And so the hearing was co-chaired by Councilwoman Sandy Nurse and Gail Brewer, the former chairpersons of the Committee on Criminal Justice and the Committee on Oversight and Investigations, respectively. So the Commissioner of the Department of Corrections and other senior DOC folks, they answered questions posed by the co-chairs, Nurse and Brewer, in addition to other city council members who came and went. And then after that, public testimony was heard. So a few thoughts. So for me personally, this was a sad, disappointing, and upsetting hearing for multiple reasons. For me personally, I felt like from the public that was testifying, it felt like there was a trend of disrespect, frustration, sadness, and flippancy that they felt. No one who testified at the table for DOC stayed to hear the public testimony. So for me personally, that was crazy. Granted, I don't run DOC, and there's no universe across the multiverse where I would, but that doesn't stop me from still feeling it was crazy that none of them stayed. And then personally, third thing is I saw many reasons why people have lost, they do lose, and will lose faith in local government. On the flip side of that coin, I also saw reasons why people try to have faith in local government, why some will have faith in local government, and why some continue to grow some sort of faith in local government. And so a few things, right? So I was able to go just because I had that time. And so what I urge folks to do is, if you already don't know about the city council calendar, whatever your search engine is, make that a bookmark. Watch the past hearings. You can't watch the current ones because, like Sean said, they're still appointing their people. But once they have those up there, watch them. And then if there's ever a point when you can actually attend one of them, then definitely attend one of them. And I say that for you just because it's important for you, whether you're watching or in person, to watch that and figure out for yourself how you feel with what is happening versus what you believe is supposed to happen on multiple levels, right? So I give you that one right there. Next up, Secretary of Frenchie Chengajita, proof again that she goes through all 5 boroughs. This one's just Brooklyn. So she attended the January 5th Brookdale Community Advisory Board meeting. So high-level recap of some of the things that came out of that. Sharon Lead was the presenter from Brookdale. There's an individual named Mr. Curtis who had left. No one had filled this position. And so if anyone is interested in that position, they can email their basically credentials to Sharon Lead. She also said for 2026, Sharon Lead will be making presentations to community boards and precinct council meetings to inform them of upcoming structural and internal improvements to Brookdale, and she's also scheduling tours for the various campuses. And also, Dr. Scott is now the CEO of OBH1, and Dr. Arthur Ganelli is hired as the COO to assist her in operations. And so his goal is to produce a more effective system at Brookdale, and there are no hires for other positions that are coming. Brookdale's going to do a ribbon cutting. That date is TBD. And also, Brookdale respects the $11.99 support to nurses if they do go on strike. And so Brookdale's stance is that they will hire traveling nurses to care for the patients in the event that the strike occurs. And then for Brooklyn Borough Board, we had a Brooklyn Borough Board meeting on last Tuesday, January 6th. So the main updates are that Brooklyn Borough Hall presented on the 2025 Comprehensive Plan for Brooklyn. CB9's chairperson of Parks, Recreation, and Culture Committee talked about an upcoming symposium, and then I asked a question about term limits, and I got an answer, right? So as for the 2025 Comprehensive Plan for Brooklyn, Borough President Reynoso spoke about some of the data within the plan, some of the reasoning behind it, and some of the questions that a plan like that could start dialogues with and move work forward. And then Britt Bird and other folks also spoke to parts of that plan as well. Afterwards, board members, we asked various questions about the plan. As for the announcement by CB9's chairperson of Parks, Recreation, and Culture, he stated that in late March there will be a Brooklyn Parks and Open Spaces Symposium for all the Brooklyn community boards, and he also stated that info would be sent to the community boards regarding this event in the coming weeks. And then as for a term limits question, I asked if Brooklyn Borough Hall could confirm that it would apply the temporary exemption for the 2020 appointments, such that there will be no term limits applied in 2028. So this means that anyone appointed in 2020 would be termed off in 2030, assuming that all terms since 2020 were full 2-year terms. And so this matters because this exemption is stated within the city charter itself. And so Borough President Reynoso said yes, the office would follow the charter and apply the temporary exemption. And so that's everything for the Brooklyn Borough Board report. For the nominating committee, per our bylaws, a nominating committee must be established to propose a slate of executive committee candidates. So I'm happy to report that the members of this year's nominating committee are Susan Phillip, Nina Sadgir, Nikki Levinson Angulo, Nora Pena, and Mordechai Husarski. So folks, give me another round of applause for the nominating committee. And that ends the chair's report. And so now we are on to topical committees for reports and items. And so first up, we have the Human Services Committee, followed by Housing and Land Use.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Happy New Year. Hope everyone's year has gotten off to a strong start. And, you know, before I start, my mom says that she really appreciates the shout-outs. I think one of the clips ended up on Facebook. So I'm going to look at the camera and say, hi, Mom.
Yep, that's it.
And with that, my name is Jarrell Gray, co-chair of the Human Services Committee. My co-chair, Yvette, has been sick. So, Yvette, if you're watching, hope you feel better as well. And I have 2 items to report. So last month, we had a joint committee meeting with the Committee for Housing and Land Use. And we had a presentation from the Sephardic Community Health Center. They're proposing a 240-bed nursing home at 1455 Coney Island Avenue that meets the religious, cultural, and dietary needs of the Sephardic Jewish community. With that, they're planning on having long-term care, short-term care, outpatient care, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. This is in the pre-development phase, but they wanted to give a presentation to the community board. And in addition to that, drum roll please. On Thursday, January 29th at 6:30, we will be having another joint committee meeting with the Community Safety Committee. This will be in person and at the district office. And we're having we're having 2 trainings. Well, first one with the FDNY on Control the Bleed, and then the second one with the Dynamic Youth Community for Narcan training. And I think this is a very good opportunity. I know a lot of members have been speaking about getting to know each other. So this is the second committee meeting that we're having in person. And you know, joining the community boards is very interesting how we've joined to get information to take back into our communities. And now we're getting trainings that we could actually save a life. So I think it's a very good opportunity. January 29th. Thursday, 6:30 at our district office. And by a show of hands, has anyone done a Control the Bleed training? Has anyone done a Narcan training?
Not done yet.
All right, so I should see a good deal of you January 29th, 6:30 at the district office. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh.
You got a question? Yep.
Yeah, do we need to, like, does this meeting require signing
Yes,
up in
please.
advance?
Yes, please. Let the office know if you plan to attend so that we have a count for FDNY.
Yeah, it's you know, if you've been to the district office, it's a tug space. It's a snug space, but we'll make it work, right? Shout out to staff in the back. Yeah, Sarah, you're going to be good, right? All right, cool.
Thank you so much. So next up we have, thank you, Board Member Nance. So next up we have Housing and Land Use, followed by Community Environment.
So my name is Melissa Minnick. I'm a co-chair of our Housing and Land Use Committee.
And I'm Greg Alvarez, the other co-chair.
So as we just said, we had a joint committee meeting this last year. With okay, better. But yeah, we had a joint committee meeting with Human Services, and the second part of that meeting, we had a presentation from our Fund for the City of New York Planning Fellow, Annie Larkin, who we have this year, which is fantastic. And she walked us through the intro to what a preliminary outline of the City of Yes really looks like for our district, what some of those changes might look like, and took questions. So it was nice to see that really like apply to our district for that. I don't know if you want to go or...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So just another couple of things to keep in mind. This Thursday, actually, on the 15th, there is a Brooklyn Community Board ULERP training, a workshop on that. I'm not sure if everybody here got the email.
I'll double check. Everybody should have gotten it, but we can send a reminder because I have something else to send to everybody tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, so it's online, but that is from 6 to 7:30. And for those who don't know, that's ULERP, that's a Uniform Land Use Review Procedure. So what usually buildings, developments will go through when they are looking to build or create new spaces, for those who are very interested in housing and land use. And also just a reminder, the Hope Count is coming up too at the end of this month. So we still need the volunteers. I know the city's looking for those, but this is when the city conducts their annual count, or at least estimate of how many people the city actually has in it who are homeless. And this is an overnight kind of a thing. So I know the district does have the volunteer form, the link for that on our website. So. Oh, that's January 27 is for the Hope Count. At 10 p.m. is when that would start. It usually goes 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., although you might finish sooner.
And just one final point of information, district interest. There have been questions, and in our committee as well, regarding what's going on at the Sears property. There's been a lot of activity there, obviously, over the last couple of years. So with the benefit and courtesy of our district office, who reached out to the developer, we have some information. So just first off, the Sears building itself. So landmarked. So it was a landmark building, and at this point, there are no offers to develop it. So what they've been doing is using it as a staging office for the apartment buildings that are being built in the other lots. So just real briefly on the residential buildings themselves, there are a total of 4, and they're all just about either ready for occupancy or just on the cusp. So there's 2201 Beverly, which will have 296 units. They're still, I think as of a few weeks ago, still pending their TCO, so they're still working on that. Building B is 2366 Bedford, and that's going to account for 354 units. There is a TCO, but it was still unoccupied as of a few weeks ago. The 2 other buildings, which I think are on the other side of our district line, that's the Bedford, which will be 132 units at 2363 Bedford. Again, TCO, but not quite occupied. And then finally, 158 Lot Street is going to be 95 units, TCO, not occupied. So they're on the verge, and so I think we're going to keep tabs on this as it goes through. But that was the information that we were able to obtain from the developer thus far. Is there a question?
What does TCO mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, that's temporary certificate of occupancy that allows the building to be occupied. Temporary meaning that allows for the beginning stages of people to be able to occupy the units, but not formally do so. So they're still in that that evolving process of getting to that point as far as we know. Yes, one more question.
Did they give you any information about what percentage of those apartments are affordable housing?
That's a good question. I don't know if we have that immediately available, but I think we can get those calculations if there are. I don't know if that was...
Yeah, it was an as-of-right development, so they're not required to have any affordability in it, but I think they did some voluntary inclusionary housing, and it would probably be at higher AMIs, and I don't know the percentage of or whether they're studios or 2 bedrooms or whatever. But I can follow up with Clipper.
Yeah,
because it's an as-of-right, because it's as-of-right, they have no obligation to come to any public forums.
Yeah, before they started developing, they did a meeting in King's Theater, and they gave percentages. So I just wanted to know if they actually met those percentages, if they did it at all, they gave more.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that's definitely monitored by DOB, but we'll confirm that for sure.
Thank you.
Yes. Another question, yes.
And then would you know if that building would be listing in the Housing Connect website?
Okay, yes, we'll double check that as well. I don't know if that's, I guess if there are.
I think all of them, I think anything with affordability
yes, if there
goes
is
into the database.
Right. Okay. All right, very good. So we'll keep keeping tabs on it because obviously this is a development of interest in the district. That's it for now. Thank you.
Thank you folks so much. Yep, so next up we have community environment, followed by community safety.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for coming. I'm Deborah Valentine.
Christopher Bromson. Good to see everybody.
Yeah. We are co-chairs of the Community Environment, Cultural Affairs, and Economic Development Committee. Our next meeting will take place on January 21st, so we look forward for everyone to come. The first presentation that they're going to be doing is on neighborhood tree planting program, where the representative Nave Strauss of the Department of Parks and Recreation will be doing a presentation. And the second presentation will be an overview of Prospect Park Zoo public programs. And the presenter is Bill Elliston of Wildlife and Conservation Society. Conservation Society.
And then after the midway point, we will be joined by Audrey Banks from All-in-One Community Center, who will talk about upcoming openings, programs, services, and community outreach updates. And then our friend Lauren Elvers-Collins from the Church Flatbush Community Alliance will come to announce a Shine the Light in Flatbush lighting project. So an exciting kickoff to our committee year. Additionally, right now, as New York City is working to develop its first environmental justice plan, the Mayor's Office of Climate and Environmental Justice has launched a short questionnaire that is sitting on next to the homepage, one click from the homepage of our website. The link is also bit.ly/EJinform. It's a short questionnaire about our priorities as it relates to environmental justice in our community district. I took it today. It's pretty short. It asks for opinion and input. So it asks for suggestions on how to make our community more environmentally justice focused. It was great, and I think as our community district has some of the least amounts of parks and green space, it's a really important opportunity for us to contribute our points of view. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the district office, and I'm sure we will talk about the results as they are published in the committee.
So see everybody at that meeting on January 21st,
Yeah.
WebEx. All right.
Thank you folks very much. So next up we have community safety and then transportation.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. And almost Martin Luther King Day.
Oh, yeah.
So I just wanted to say we just started a new year, and everyone has their resolutions for New Year. And in lieu of Dr. Martin Luther King having a dream of all people thinking of each other with love and equality, we should try to bring that into the new year and show everyone that no matter what race, religion, everyone is loved and cared for in our eyes. So that could be like a new thing that we want to bring into the new year. So we're really excited for our joint meeting on January 29th, as you already heard of. You heard. Yes.
And Jarrell, we say, hello, family.
So as you heard from Jarrell, it's in the district office at 6:30, and you need to confirm in advance because it's limited. It's going to be the FDNY control bleed training and the Narcan training. And I've been to Narcan training before, and it's really, really useful. And I remember from last time we all got a Narcan kit to, have with us in case of, God forbid, emergency. So it's something that you might want to try to hurry up and, sign up for. And then just, one second.
So while Indy is looking through, she's going to say next, and Florencia. And hello, Detective Lucy over there.
Yep, exactly. I'm gonna shut you
We
up.
just, on the 28th of this month, it's a Wednesday, the last Wednesday this month, we'll be having the precinct council. The president is Mr. Ed Powell. And in December, we had our Christmas party, and Detective Lucy was Blue Santa, and Mr. Powell partnered with Dovey Zeitlin. Everybody knows them, and they catered for food, and that they had Nathan Thomas did magic tricks, and a whole host of kids were there. Everybody left with gifts and food, and it was very touching. A lot happened. You have to come next time, please. and so the meeting, we'll be having our first for January on the 28th at 7:30 p.m., 175 Lawrence Avenue. Please come. Please share your idea. Whatever, if you have concerns, and just listen to what's happening. And Eddie, Mr. Slavin is here. He's usually there, and other members from our elected officials as well is always there giving out information.
And what I wanted to say before was that the 70th precinct marked the 20 years remembrance for Officer Hennessy's dedication, sacrifice, and legacy, which happened last Saturday. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there because of my Sabbath, but it's important to remember our fallen heroes. And going into the next year, just remembering respect and love for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, folks. So next up, we have Transportation Committee. And yeah, shout out to Nuzzy. I didn't even see you sneak in there, my man. So yeah, shout out to Detective Nuzzy, excuse me.
Hey, everyone. Good evening. All right, so we have an upcoming meeting for the Musa, Binyamin, co-chairs. We have an upcoming meeting on February 5th for the Transportation Committee. We have two presentations. One is from the Regional Plan Association. They're just going to do an introduction to their organization, and we're going to discuss their plans and projects and project impacts at the community level. For those that don't know, the association is an organization that does deep research and advocates for certain policy outcomes, including those related to transportation. And then we're going to have an update from, we're going to get some MTA updates from the Permanent Citizens Advisory Committee to the MTA. Those updates will include updates on MTA fare changes, bus redesigns, fare fares, and the IVX. So we look forward to seeing you guys then.
We also have an update from the DOT. The DOT wants us to give them a letter of approval for the automated public toilet. So a few months ago, they brought a demonstration before us to talk about their automated public toilet. It's going to be by the Prospect Park area. So just to remind a few people, we were moderating that. There were basically, the idea is they're going to install one automated public toilet in the Prospect Park area. It's going to be about 12 minutes to 15 minutes of use per person, after which the doors will open. It'll take about 2 minutes. Apparently, after 12 minutes, there is a warning light that gives you a 3-minute warning. So hurry up or something, because it is opening. And then it will close for about 2 minutes to self-clean, and then it will reopen for the next person. So during that meeting, there were a number of concerns that were raised. Yes. And besides for that, there were a number of concerns regarding, first of all, the cost of this whole thing. It's going to be a few $100,000 for just one automated public toilet. Yes. Besides for that, there are issues with, we already have a whole suite of public toilets in Prospect Park. It doesn't seem to kind of make sense. There were a number of people raised concerns about possible drug abusers in the area using that and not allowing people to kind of access the bathroom on their own. When I personally asked them about some drug abusers possibly using that, they said it has never occurred to them whatsoever, and that it's not a concern to them at all. That's what they did say. He said it's not a concern at all. So, with that said, I know that we're going to be going for a vote right now for possibly writing them a letter for approval. Usually the way it works is because we're co-chairs, we can give our opinions on this before we do that. With what I've just told you, I'm not going to recommend a letter of approval. Thanks.
There are questions, yeah, go ahead. Mhm.
There may be concerns about people using it for drugs or so, but I think we have to recognize as a major city in this world, we are woefully behind in public toilets. If you go to Europe or other major cities, there are toilets. And public toilets that are maintained and in good order. We have one in Bryant Park. So I think we really have to think about a service to the community and the public, and I would not say that drug use or no drug use should be the main concern in deciding to have public toilets.
Okay, so I have Board Member Dennis.
Yeah, I just wanted to note that there were a number of community members who were present at this meeting who aren't on the board who were in favor of this toilet and specifically mentioned.
Just one, Liz.
Sorry?
Just one, Liz.
Well, there were other board members who spoke up in favor then as well. Noting that there is a lack of, that even though there are some toilets in the other side of the playground and soon on the other side of Prospect Park, there weren't, maybe it was in the chat too, that this is an area that does lack it. And I also wanted to just note that I know flooding is a big concern in this area, but they were very proactive in the discussion about talking about how this particular toilet model was very robust to potential flooding issues that we have in this area, even noting that. So this would urge people to consider the benefits, as board member also noted.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I see several board members who have their hands up, and so I'm going to try and go in order. Yes? Susan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have either of you ever seen one of these toilets in action? I'm asking as a question. Have either of you seen, either of the co-chairs seen one of the toilets in action? Or have they used it?
No.
Okay, so there's one at Grand Army Plaza that they installed a while ago. I'm sure many people have seen it. And 16 minutes does sound hilarious, but they work very effectively. They've been shut down sometimes just from, malfunction, or they've had to fix them. But they're efficient. That one was a charged one, so that one you had to pay a quarter and whatever. But it was really, really helpful because so many people use the park. So many people have it for the green market on the weekends. Sometimes you can't run all the way across the street and then run through the library to get to the bathroom. So it was a service, and it was large. And self-cleaning, which was really interesting to have something that would shut down, you could hear it, and it just flushes through the whole thing, sanitizes it, and then you can go back. So that even comforts some people thinking about the homeless coming through. So those are just thoughts, having seen one in action. I wanted to share that insight. And they're huge.
Regine and Melissa were next.
Just one quick question. You mentioned the Prospect Park area, but is there any further information on exactly where?
It's adjacent to it's on Park Circle, and it steps from the tennis courts. It's on the tennis court side near the SRG building.
Got it. Okay, so the southeast corner.
Ooh, you're so good. That's right.
And then
Southeast of Park Circle, southwest of the park.
That's all. And then just a note or a comment that there's really nowhere else in that area, that greater area, to go. The other day I was in Newkirk Plaza and locked eyes with the guy who was peeing in the plaza, and was like, and then I thought, like, obviously it's not okay to do what he was doing, but then I thought, what is the alternative? And I wish that there was an alternative for him and for me and for my kids. I didn't want to see it. I got the sense maybe he didn't want to be doing that either. And to give people a dignified place to relieve themselves in both places, including, adding Newkirk Plaza to if anyone's listening out there, MTA, whomever. But it seems like a really a needed thing to give people a dignified place to relieve themselves. and for the people in the community to not have to see that when people choose where to go, because people cannot stop themselves from it. It's a basic human need, and let's give people a place to do it where it's going to be more sanitary and dignified.
Before we move on, I just want to be clear that I'm not advocating for people urinating in the streets. My initial point actually was that the cost is ridiculous compared to the utility. So if you're paying a few $100,000 minimum per unit, and you have many more maintained functional bathrooms, we can do a lot more with that. That's all I'm pointing out, and I don't think that it's really worthwhile, and there are a number of other concerns as well.
So I'll take, quick thing, so I'll take 3 more from board members only, and then after that, I'll ask, do I have a motion from the floor? And so, Susan, I apologize, I blanked when I saw you, and I forgot to call your name, but the order that I will do board member Minnick, I will do board member Loggins, and then board member Valentin. I saw you had your hand up, and then, I know there's other hands, but for the interest of time, I'm gonna stop it there, and then I'm gonna ask, do I have a motion from the floor? And so, board member Minnick, you're up.
Thanks. So I'm actually really glad that this has now gotten to this point, because I was in a fellowship a number of years ago, pre-pandemic, with the Urban Design Forum, where we were looking at issues of, we actually partnered with Department of Homeless Services and looking at the public realm, and it was some of my colleagues who decided on public restrooms and public bathrooms and did this whole study about how many more the city needed. And they're the ones who really pushed this forward to the point that we're talking about it today in this room. And I definitely am in favor of this, and it's a variety of reasons. It's definitely not homeless people, not only, I'll say, but I think that we need to thoroughly recognize the area that we live in. I think that our district and this area in Prospect Park, for example, not having publicly available restrooms, it disables people who need to be able to get out and go places, because not all of us can just hold it for several hours. My husband calls me a camel because whatever. I don't care. I'll wait several hours. But yeah, that's recorded just for him. But not everyone can do that, and particularly around, I live just a block south of Prospect Park. There's a lot of rent-stabilized housing around there. These are naturally occurring retirement communities, so NORCs. There are people aging in these communities in place, and within a lot of our district, actually. And I think that we really do need to recognize the need that's there. And yeah, 12 minutes, whatever you want to say about that. I think that the installation costs and that's not something to worry about. I'm thoroughly in favor of this.
Okay, thank you so much for that, board member Minnick. I have board member Loggins, and then board member Valentin, and then I'm gonna ask for a motion from the floor.
As someone that actually used those bathrooms, when they first put it in Prospect Park, I think they're great. They're clean, they're well maintained, and what happened was, almost 20 years ago now, the city purchased close to 50 of them. They put in 2 as tests, one by Prospect Park, one across from Macy's. The one across from Macy's, they had a Macy's employee watching it, taking care of it, and the one at Prospect Park, no one was watching it, but it's perfectly fine. The big cost was installing the water and sewage for it. I mean, other than that, no problems at all. And I'm all for it.
Okay, thank you very much for that, board member Loggins. And we have board member Valentin. Valentin, excuse me.
My question is, what is going to be the hours of it? Is it going to be 24 hours? So what would be the thing? Because the thing is if you're out and about when you have young kids, even a pregnant woman, when you have to go, you have to go. And it'll be nice to have something available to us.
I believe not, but I'll refer to.
I honestly don't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I'm sorry.
I don't
We
think it
remember.
is, but I'm not sure.
Is one of the questions?
I don't know.
So
So that was just my question, and I would say I would support it. Anything to give people the opportunity to relieve themselves while being out and about, I would support it.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And so Do I have a motion from the floor regarding these, this automated toilet in Prospect Park? Board Member Sapir?
I propose that we vote in favor of the publicly available toilet in Prospect Park. Second.
Okay, so did folks hear the motion that was on the floor and that was seconded?
Just a quick clarification.
Yes.
It would be a motion to support, like a letter in support of the thing.
Correct. Correct, yes. So the motion that was on the floor, the motion that's on the floor and second is for CB14 to write a letter in support of this, this toilet. And so it is. It's true. It's true, right? I mean, hey, it's what it is. And so, yes, so the motion's on the floor. And so let me do it this way. Are there any board members opposed? Okay. So I have one. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Well, let me see. Are there any board members abstaining? Are there any board members ineligible to vote? Okay, so the motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, thank you folks very much. All right, and then so next up we have Youth Services, Education, Libraries, but I also want to shout out Ayami Sailing from Assemblymember Cunningham's office, so hello, thank you. And also Taisha Allen, so hello, thank you for coming.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Eric.
Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. Hey. Happy Monday. Yeah, come on.
But sports happen, so some people are still in their feelings. I'm just saying. I know, I'm just telling you, some people, there's a lot of stuff happening, so just saying.
Well, I hope everybody's feeling good on Monday. Hi, Jarrell's mom. So we had a meeting, Youth Services, Education, Libraries meeting this past Thursday, a few days ago, January 8th. We had a good attendance at the meeting as well. A lot of things happened. Presentation number one was from representatives from the Independent Budget Office on the school budgets, how to find and interpret school budget information. It was a big picture overview of the city budget process and how the school funding fits in. They shared info about reports they've done on accessibility, class size, space constraints. We learned how to navigate the DOE website to individual school budgets, and they did a deep dive on school allocation memorandums. It was great. So if you are on a PA at your local school, if you are a parent at the schools and you're looking for information, not just even about the school you are at, but maybe the school that you're thinking of sending your kids to, these budgets are very available, and the resources and the interactiveness of the website gives you a lot of information. And just for those of you who are not familiar with the Independent Budget Office, they're a nonpartisan city agency. They provide data-driven fiscal and policy insights into New York City government and services. The two people who were there for us were amazing. And they said they get a lot of their ideas for what their research is on and what they're going to do reports about from the public. They said reach out to them. They also do presentations for all kinds of people. If you have a group that wants to dig into the budgets of the school, but other things as well. They were so accommodating, and I don't know, I was very impressed with them. So I would highly recommend checking out that video from last week. Also, so one other thing, the Community Education Council for District 22, which overlaps with our district, we are hosting the Chancellor a month from today at PS 217, which is on Newkirk Ave and Coney Island Avenue. So Chancellor Kamar Samuels is going to have a town hall Thursday, February the 12th, 6:30 to 7:30. I made a whole bunch of these, so if you would like information about it or to save the date, grab it. So it's just anybody can come talk to the Chancellor, hear from the new Chancellor. More business from our meeting. We had a volunteer from the Campaign for Library Funding, Mandy Sally, and she was hoping that her organization that she works with is the New York City Public Library Action Network. Those of us who love the libraries, who use them to go to the bathroom when we have our kids, and take out books and watch movies and everything else. It's our hubs. So they are calling for help. They want volunteers to help support the libraries, and they are asking city council members for that 0.5% for the libraries of the budget. So their plan is newyorkcityplan.org, nycplan.org, if you want to learn more about them. That was just the first half of the meeting.
All right, everyone. And then the second and juicy part of the meeting is our planning for what was previously known as our youth conference. We have a rename this year. It will be called the Youth Resource Fair. Everybody say Youth Resource Fair? It takes a couple times to say it because I was still saying youth conference for a while. So with some energy, Youth Resource Fair? Youth Resource Fair. If that's the energy y'all bringing, our youth are going to be so bored, y'all. Come on now. This is being recorded. This is what y'all want y'all family members and community members to hear. Youth Resource Fair. You got to have some energy so when they read it, like, well, I got to show up to that. On March 11th, on March 11th. All I heard was Carl. On March 11th. Thank you. The friends in the back that are just looking at me with a blank stare, wake up, y'all. We're almost at the end. We have a time change. So on March 11th, our Youth Resource Fair will be happening. It's going to be our 19th year. Again, name change, but same event. There is an adjustment to the time. We, I think, originally had said 4, but we're moving it up earlier to 3:30. For some context, the reason we're moving up earlier is a lot of youth in our district get out early and they kind of like pull around and wait. So why not just start it and have it planned, ready to go that time, so that we don't have to hurdle them in or like figure out ways to entertain them in the process. We're going to start 30 minutes earlier than we usually would. Couple things, please go on, watch the WebEx video. I'm not gonna go into full details, but we are in the first phase of like pre-planning volunteer needs. For this event to happen, it does take not only our committee, but the entire board to make this happen at a high level. Those that were on the call, like I told them, they got first dibs to pick the volunteer spots, but we still do need a few pre-volunteer, if the more the merrier. So we are gonna need people to make calls to school. Eric will be the captain of that, but basically all you're doing is we have a list, we have the numbers already. You're just gonna, when it's time, you're gonna make calls, confirm that they got our flyers, confirm they sent it out to their family and the students in their school. So if you are interested in doing that, please find me and Eric after. And then the second, and this feels like the most fun one for me, maybe it's just because I'm trying to get my steps in this year. So if you have a goal of getting more steps in, we have something that will help you. We are going to be posting physical flyers around the district to make sure that when people walk in through some of our like high priority zones, so like think about Cortelliu Avenue, Flatbush Avenue, Church, Coney Island, those busy spots in our district, people are like, oh, I saw this flyer. And then when you see it a couple times, like, oh, I'm going to attend that, right? So if you want to get your 10,000 steps in, they say that's how much you need to get in every day, right? We have something to help you. We're starting around maybe February when we have the printed flyers in, so look out for that. Please make sure that you go to the district office when that message goes out, collect some flyers, spend a Saturday, walk around, stop by your favorite libraries in the district, put up the posters so that our families and our youth are seeing them in some of these hot zones. And if you are interested in doing that, interested in making your physical goals for 2026, come find me and Eric as well. And the next meeting, there'll be some, we'll talk about other volunteer opportunities for the day of, but let's get the pre-stuff out the way first. So call in our schools in our district and then putting up flyers throughout our district in the hot zones.
One thing, you should just a shout out to the office staff for getting stuff rolling, and Carissa too for working with Sarah. There's a hot new poster and it looks really good. It looks really good. So thank you, and thank you, Sarah, for getting that rolling. We'll see it soon.
All right, everyone. So don't all rush me at the end, but please come find me so y'all can sign up and volunteer.
Thank you very much for that. Right, and so folks, that concludes the top local committees. And so as usual, I'm asking for a round of applause for Wayne Rosenfeld and the East Midwest Jewish Center for hosting us. And for Mark Moss, our man in the chair, for live streaming this meeting. And so without both of them, we couldn't do it. So I thank you both. And so this brings us to our public comment period. And so board members are expected to remain for the public comment period. Speakers can sign up with Sarah at the back of the room up until the beginning of the public comment period. Matters of civic interest and announcements of public events are invited. Please, friendly reminder from the beginning, no partisan political appeals or advertising of for-profit enterprises are permitted. So each speaker will be given up to 3 minutes and may not receive additional time from another speaker, so no rollbacks. Speakers are directed to address the assembly from the front of the room, so at that podium right up there. And then at the conclusion of the 3-minute period, each speaker must return to their seat. And so the board does have an obligation to conduct its business in an orderly manner, and so any person preventing us from doing so may be asked to leave. And then it is 8:06 p.m. And so the first speaker is Brooklyn Public Library, followed by Britt Bird.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Bramble and
Juana Flores from Midwood Branch.
Greetings from Brooklyn Public Library. Happy New Year to everyone. The Center for Brooklyn History, CBH, is Brooklyn Public Library's nationally recognized research library and public history institution, formerly known as the Brooklyn Historical Society. So CBH is free and open to all, providing visitors with dynamic ways to connect with Brooklyn's story through its historical collections, enlightening programs, educational resources, and wide-ranging exhibitions. One program I want to highlight is a special program on the importance of community boards. We are planning with Brooklyn President Reynoso's office. On Wednesday, January 21st, representatives from CBs 9, 10, and 18 will be on stage at the CBH discussing the vital role community boards play in our city's democracy. So we are inviting everyone to please attend. Applications are now open. Interested in the world of tech and cybersecurity, Level Up is BPL's free workforce development program designed to help Brooklyn residents build the technical and professional skill needed for career growth, financial stability, and long-term success. It's a 10-week program, and it will start in the spring, and you can apply by January 25th. Also, I want to highlight, I can help advertise for the Youth Resource Fair.
Hi, everyone. I'm from Midwood Library at E16 Avenue J. And I want to ask if anyone here resolution is going to read more for the New Year's. Yeah. All right, so I have an opportunity for each of you is to come to our book discussion. Now, if you're looking for love, romance, come to Thirsty Tuesdays at Avenue J, Midwood Branch. Also, we also have a read aloud that we are collaborating with our tent arrangement center for older seniors or older adults doing a read aloud, and we're going to do Pride and Prejudice. And for those who have a Bob Ross inner person in you, we also having a happy little tree and mocktails doing Bob Ross Little Trees on January 29th at the Midwood Branch. But not only at the Midwood Branch, each of our libraries have programs for adults, children, and young adults, and we all will advertise for the resource fair because it's important to serve our youth. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. And another time I got to ask you how you came up with that Thirsty Tuesday to Lane. That's for another time. So next up we have Britt Bird from the Borough President's Office.
Hi everyone, Happy New Year from Borough President Reynoso. First, as a reminder, community board applications are open until February 6th. There's a fresh pile of flyers back here. If you want to spread the word, take a photo, text that to all your people to make sure we get a healthy number of applications this community board season. Next is that we are inviting folks to join the 2026 Divine Dwellings cohort. This flyer here, back here, has more information. Houses of worship in Brooklyn are invited to join a free year-long program on affordable housing development. The Fast Track cohort program features free technical assistance provided by Bricks and Mortals, a grassroots membership organization empowering faith-based organizations in New York City to maximize their buildings and property to serve their communities. If you're interested, organizations should contact my colleague Crystal Bydon at, and for those online, I'll spell it out, Crystal with a K, KRYSTAL.BYDONNE at brooklynbp.nyc.gov this week, if possible. And the email's on this flyer as well. Next, we'd like to announce that Brooklyn College has a perinatal mental health online graduate course. We have some detailed information at the back. We want to spread the word that in partnership with the Borough President's Office, Brooklyn College is offering online graduate courses focusing on the mental health needs of new and expecting mothers. The courses are ideal for licensed social workers, counselors, psychologists, midwives, nurses, OBGYNs, psychiatrists, psychotherapists, pediatricians, doulas, behavior analysts, early childhood specialists, and public health professionals. Interested professionals can register for virtual information session. Actually, that date is passed, but you can reach out to our office for more information on this program. Then just want to reiterate the previous announcement by the library for the event on Inside Brooklyn's Community Boards on Wednesday, January 21st. Again, that is from 6:30 to 8 p.m. at the Center for Brooklyn History. Finally, this year in 2026, the Office of the Brooklyn Borough President is hosting a regular schedule of ULURP hearings. Every second Wednesday of the month is when the Borough President will be hosting ULURP hearings. For this board, it's only relevant if there's a ULURP application in CB14, so the office will still notify and spread the word to the board if there is or when there is a application in the board or a citywide text amendment. Of course, the Housing and Land Use Committee will be very on top of that, I'm sure. Then finally, thank you for announcing earlier the ULURP training this Thursday the 15th. Don't get too excited, but I will be leading that training, so happy to see many of you there, I'm sure. And then thank you again to the chair for mentioning and recapping the presentation on the comprehensive plan at the Borough Board. Our office is always happy to chat further, whether it's with the committee, whether it's with the executive committee, whether it's with just anyone at the board. I'm very involved in that project as well and happy to talk about the comprehensive plan and CB14 in particular. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Britt. And don't sell yourself short with that workshop, man. So next up, we have Mary Kay Siri.
Hi, everybody. Assemblymember Carroll is in Albany. Session just started, so I'll be reporting about things that happen in months to come. I've brought newsletters. His most recent newsletter is on the table, as well as parking calendars. And our most exciting thing coming up is we have the MTA mobile sales unit that is going to be in front of our Park Slope office on January 29th from 10 to 2. As everybody knows, the MetroCards are they stopped selling them. So if you want to resolve any of your hanging balances with your MetroCards, et cetera, even though they'll be honoring them into 2026, you can do it at the mobile sales unit and lots of other things with Omni, et cetera. So hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary Kay. So next up, and please correct me if I mispronounce your name, is it David Kupferberg? Kupferberg? Yes. Okay, thank you so much.
Good evening, my name is David Kupferberg, and I am a member of Passengers United. We are a Section 501c3 nonprofit, nonpartisan transportation advocacy group. Our goal is to advocate for transportation issues based on what the people want, not what we think the people want. The goals of the MTA bus network redesign should be close service gaps, expand service to transit deserts, and do both without negative impacts to the core network. The Brooklyn Bus Network redesign draft plan released in December of 2022 received an overwhelmingly negative response. In fact, none of the Brooklyn's 18 community boards support the draft plan. We think that the MTA should delay the proposed final plan in favor of a new draft plan. At the same time, the MTA should invest 1% of New York City's transit's operating budget, or $126 million for the Brooklyn Bus Network redesign. And in fact, I was reared in what is now CB14. One of the purposes of express bus service since its inception in the 1970s was, is, and will always be to complement the subway, not compete with it. But when express bus service was first established, the fare was double the subway base fare. So for starters, the base fare for express bus service should be lowered from $7.25 to $6 to encourage ridership. The 7-day rolling express bus fare cap should be lowered from $67 to $57. The purists in us don't want the existing BM3, BM4, BM5 Saturday service to be eliminated. But the realists in us know that the MTA has the data to back up their intentions. We think that Saturday service for the BM1C and BM2C should be maintained and operate via Church Avenue in Brooklyn Saturdays only. To the MTA and their service planners, get to know the neighborhoods before you come to the public. Go back to the drawing board. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we have flyers in the back of who we are. Thank you.
Is it from up there? Or is it, okay. All right, so thank you very much for that information. We appreciate that. And so next up, we have Nancy Lulu.
Good evening, Happy New Year. Hope everyone had a great start to the new year. Just wanted to introduce myself, just in case you don't know who I am. Nancy Lulu from the Office of Public Engagement at the Kings County District Attorney's Office. Just wanted to share that Brooklyn closed 2025 as the safest year in its recorded history, so that's great news. Obviously, that's based on the NYPD stats. DA Gonzalez firmly believes that public safety is a shared commitment and a shared responsibility. So I just wanted to share that we do have a press release in regards to the stats, speaking about, shootings and shooting victims. I left a few copies up front. And visit our website at brooklynda.org, where you could learn more about this press release and other press releases, and to also learn about the great work that we do at the Brooklyn DA's office. Also, as always, I want to remind you with our Action Center's phone number, if there is a public safety concern or anything that you would like to address with the Brooklyn DA's office, you could call our Action Center at 718-250-2340. And I want to conclude with thanking Community Board 14 for your recognition, for recognizing me, and thank you so much, and also congratulations to Florencia. And that's really it. Looking forward to working with everyone in the new year. Thank you. Effective Nuzzy for cheering on.
Thank you so much, Nancy, as always. And so next up, we have Ellie Slavin.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ali Slavin, Community Liaison for Congresswoman Yvette Clark. Member sends her best in regards on a report to her after all these meetings, what's going on in the district. Having said that, again, let me wish you all a happy new year and a safe and prosperous new year. Okay, so we're located at 222 Lenox Road between Rogers and Ostrin. We're open for business from 9 to 6:30. Our number is 718-287-1142. There's a lot of information on our website, which is clark.house.gov. bills that are being sponsored and co-sponsored. So please do take your time and see what's going on in DC and being represented by the Congresswoman. I always mention the passport issues. Just this morning, I got a call. There's a group of 10 young ladies who are going to Mexico as a class reunion. 4 out of the 10 don't have passports that have been expired. So our office, we try our best, and we input with the liaison at the passport office here in Manhattan, and 99.99% with the documentation that's submitted, we can get you a passport. Now, I left some flyers on the table, and I apologize, it's not official flyers yet, it's being printed. We have satellite offices at 2 locations, and now a 3rd. As I mentioned last meeting, we have a representation satellite office at Kojo, Flatbush every first Wednesday of the month. 2nd and 4th, we have a representation satellite office at the office of Eichenstein, Assemblyman Eichenstein. I left the flyers on the tables with the numbers and the telephones to make an appointment. We added now in Flatbush and Avenue J at the office of Senator Sam Sutton, where every 3rd Wednesday I was sitting in the office to accommodate constituent work. The Congresswoman is also having a virtual Haitian community town hall with Leader Hakeem Jeffries and Representative Yvette Clark, and that's this coming Friday, January 16th. The Zoom, it opens at 5:30, and the program begins at 6, and we have where you can scan to register your participation. Let me wish you all thank you for having us, and again, a happy and healthy New Year.
Thank you so much, Ellie. So next up is Rosalind, and am I pronouncing your last name right? Salas? How do I pronounce your last name? Salas. Okay. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rosalind. I'm here on behalf of the New York City Small Business Resource Network, also with the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce. So the SBRN is just a citywide initiative that provides free one-on-one support to small businesses in all 5 boroughs. So we assist with grants, financing, legal support, marketing, business planning, helping out beginning entrepreneurs. So if you are a business owner or no business owner, you can go to our website, which is nycsmallbusinessresourcenetwork.org. And thank you.
Thank you so much. So next up, we have Megan Fleming-White.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Megan from City Council Member Farrah Lewis's office. Just a couple of things to announce. So first, the recent shooting located at Newkirk Avenue and Flatbush Avenue. The office received a community notification regarding that shooting that occurred Friday afternoon. It is unfortunate that another incident of gun violence has taken place in our community. We are grateful for the swift response by the local precinct, as well as the prompt action taken by Jerome's Cure Violence team, who engaged with the community members. Next, I'll discuss the press rally in regards to the child care advocacy. So Councilmember Farrah Lewis, alongside Assemblymember Rodney Brashad Hermelin, stood with Governor Kathy Hochul and Mayor Mamdani at a press conference announcing universal child care for New York City residents. Yes. So our office coordinated with several child care facilities that serve our local community, and their presence at the event was greatly appreciated and acknowledged. So I have an update for the traffic safety for Argyle Road, Westminster Avenue Road, and Avenue H. So our office continues to monitor the traffic safety requests submitted to DOT for Argyle Road, Westminster Road, Avenue H, and the nearby streets, with the Community Board 14's leading efforts. That request for daylighting has been approved. So daylighting was approved at the the northeast corner of Avenue H and Westminster Road, and that was installed on January 6, 2026. Yes. And then daylighting was also approved for the southwest corner of Avenue H and East 12th Street. However, that has not been installed yet, so we'll wait for updates on that. And the last two things, so participatory budget idea submission. So Councilmember Fair Lewis remains committed to working collaboratively with community residents to fund projects in Council District 45 through participatory budget processing. So we're accepting some ideas until Wednesday, January 14th, and we look forward to receiving any ideas you have with any projects you'd like to see come to life in our district. And lastly, discretionary funding workshop. Councilmember Fair Lewis, in partnership with Nonprofit Help Desk, is hosting a series of discretionary funding workshops. The next set of workshops will take place on Wednesday, January 14th and January 21st. If you'd like to have additional resources on that, you can call our office at 718-629-2900. Happy New Year and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So next up, we have Ali, and please correct me if I mispronounced your name wrong. Boyvab? All right, sweet. That's good. Well, it's good, but is it correct? Boyvab. Okay, Boyvab. Excellent, fantastic.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ali. I'm with the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection. I'm here to talk about something really exciting and fun. That's taxes. So, at our agency, our goal is to make taxes easier for everybody. We launched one of a flagship municipal program called the New York City Free Tax Prep Program, meaning that many, many New Yorkers qualify to file their taxes free of cost with over 140 of our local partners. So we partner with nonprofit organizations. We have a grant structure, and we train. We have IRS certified volunteer preparers who help you file your taxes free of cost. So why should you, use DCWP's service? That's because we've been seeing a lot of fraud happening in commercial tax preparer settings that are putting our New Yorkers at risk, and many different risk of audit and other, or just stolen refunds or taking large portions of refunds that belong to New Yorkers. Another purpose of the program was to actually build wealth for working class New Yorkers, many of whom are not claiming the right credits, for example, that they, particularly earned income credit, along with other credits and such. So this is a professional program run by our office to make it easier for New Yorkers to file their taxes. What are the eligibility requirements that we have? If you're single and earning less than $68,000, you are eligible. If you have a family, the number increases to $97,000. We also help business owners. So if you are a small business owner with an expense of less than $250,000, you can file for free as well. We have helped W-2 workers, self-employed individuals, freelancers. We welcome all taxpayers, regardless of immigration status or the occupation that they hold. We have a very specialized team throughout the city because we work with so many nonprofits and whatnot. So there are various ways of filing taxes with us. You can do it in person. You could do it drop-off service where you give the tax documents. One of our experts will fill it out and then give it back to you once you're ready to pick it up. We also have a phone self-assisted program. It's like a helpline for your tax problems. So lots of different problems, a lot of different avenues. So I just wanted to get it out there. I'm a resource for everybody. I want to show up more. DCWP is not as well known. I want to change that. So I want to give an intro at some point. Show up at your youth fair as well. We just recently launched our youth financial literacy program. Yes. So I would love to show up, share more resources. And there's so many new technologically based scams that our youth need to be aware of. Different kind of subscriptions that you could just click and you're subscribed. Different kind of loans that are available to youth now that, buy now, pay later scheme, things like that. Our youth need to be more aware of that as we go forward. So I'm a resource. I can give presentations, especially for elected CBOs. I can show up, give a presentation on common scams, workers' rights, and a lot of those other things. Honestly, for this session, I really wanted to just introduce myself as your representative at DCWP and be there for you in any way our agency can. Thank you so much, everybody.
I'm going to just quickly jump in and say, we know you in the office, and we really appreciate the support we get when we reach out with DCWP issues. Also, Ed Sen used to be on our board and also used to work for the agency, so we had a close connection. But we continue to use it, and we really appreciate the work you do. Certainly, more than willing to help you get the word out and everything you do to support our communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much as well. So next up, we have Kadeem Phillip.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I just want to introduce myself again. My name is Kadeem Phillip. I'm the Parent Ambassador for Brooklyn Dreams Charter School. We are at 259 Parkerville Avenue. It's actually going to be 2 blocks away from the event you announced on February 12th. That will be at PS 217 right there on Newkirk Avenue. So we're just 2 blocks away from that school. We're a smaller charter school. Usually our classroom sizes are anywhere from about 15 to 20 students. We go from K all the way to 8. I, as the parent ambassador, usually try to connect with different libraries, businesses, things of that nature, preschools, to try and not just, help further our admissions, but also work together to see how we could help benefit the youth that we have here at our school. Currently, I have some flyers for some events that we open to the community. We have a movie night. We have a talent show that we're actually putting on at the end of the month. By February, we're looking to do an event where it teaches young people how to take care of their hair properly and take care of themselves. So we'll be bringing in some hair stylists, we'll be bringing in barbers, just teach them the fundamentals on how to take care and groom themselves the best way possible. Also, I will absolutely be sharing the information in regards to the Youth Resources Fair. As the Parent Ambassador, I directly connect to School Connect and all of our social media promotions, so I'll be more than happy to share it through our platform as well. And just wanted to introduce myself again to start off the year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kadeem. So next up we have, and please correct me if I'm mispronouncing your name, is it Joanna Miller? Joanna Miller? Okay. Going once. Going twice. Okay. So then next up we have Venus Gantelberg.
Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. My name is Venus Ganterbury. I serve as the Brooklyn Community Coordinator for the New York City Civilian Complaint Review Board. For those of you who may not know, we are a city agency that independently serves as civilian oversight of the NYPD. So we investigate allegations of force, abuse of authority, discourtesy, and offensive language. I took the time to leave some brochures that you can just learn more information about our jurisdiction and the contact information if you have any more questions or would like to file a complaint. The statute of limitations is 18 months. Lastly, I'll take the time to promote our Youth Advisory Council applications for the 2026 cohort. This is a wonderful opportunity for young people between ages of 10 to 18 to be more civically engaged. So they work on solutions that can bridge the gap between the community and the police, because police are an integral part of our society. They do a lot of great ambassador ambassador programming. They did 2 iHeartRadio station ads, one in Spanish, one in English. So they're breaking the barriers to what it means to be civically engaged. You don't have to go through the traditional route and be a lawyer. You could work and be a part of the communications department. So just some food for thought. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm Venus. I have some business cards if you would like to reach out to me. We do informational sessions about CCRB, our jurisdiction, some basic know your rights when it comes to civil responsibilities between that you have when you are interacting with police. We work with schools, libraries, so I would love to work with and connect with the libraries and schools in the room tonight. And we are excited to be a part of the Youth Resources Fair. That's so weird to say. I'm so used to the youth conference, but
I know. You'll get there.
But this will be like our 3rd year, so we really appreciate Community Board 14 for always working with our agency. Thank you and have a prosperous new year.
Thank you too. Venus, before you go real quick, can you remind us again, what's the deadline for that youth advisory application you're talking about?
Yes, so the deadline was extended to January 16th. So your youth have Friday. We are not looking for the perfect student. We're looking for passion and we're looking for drive. As long as they can write us a 250-word essay, that's like a mini essay, about why they want to be a part of the council, we would love to have them. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. And next up, we have Taisha Allen. Chinchilla on chinchilla on chinchilla, Taisha. I'm kidding.
Have to stay warm. Those numbers out there are serious. But good evening, everyone. Welcome back. It's good to be back. Even despite the numbers outside, we're still here surviving. Happy New Year to everyone in Community Board 14. I missed you over the weeks. I just want to one announcement I do want to make is that in case you missed our email or newsletter, I do like to share again that our annual State of the District address that was previously scheduled for this Thursday, January 15th, has been postponed. We do apologize for any inconvenience, and we thank you for your understanding. Please follow Assembly-Member Bashar Hermelin on social media to stay tuned for our new date and important information. I also want to share that the Assembly-Member wishes everyone a happy and prosperous New Year and shares the following message. Dear friends, supporters, and members of our community, as we step into 2026, I am grateful for the opportunity to continue serving the residents of the 42nd Assembly District. It remains a true honor to represent our community and to work alongside you in advancing policies and initiatives that reflect our shared values and priorities. Over the past year, we have made meaningful progress, navigated challenges, and continue advocating for our district, our city, and our state, from addressing constituent concerns to advancing legislative goals. My commitment remains centered on listening, action, and accountability. As we look ahead, I am energized by the work before us and optimistic about what we can achieve together in the year to come. Thank you for your continued trust, engagement, and partnership as we build a stronger and more equitable future for the 42nd Assembly District. As always, my office is here to assist you with any questions. I'm here, the Chief of Staff. You can see me after if you have any concerns, but you can also contact 718-940-0428 or email us at ad42@nyassembly.gov. Also, officially, the legislative session has convened as of January 7th last week, and the member is actively focused on advocating for affordable housing, healthcare, childcare, especially as mentioned collaboratively with Councilmember Lewis, Assemblymember Bashar Hermelin. She's proud to announce the expansion of universal childcare, and that this investment will save families billions and support working families. And letting you know that even as a mother and legislator herself, she does understand and know the difficulties that families face with the ever-increasing cost of childcare. She also will be advocating for small businesses continuously, as she is the chair of the subcommittee on MWBEs. Thank you for these announcements, and feel free to tug on my chiller.
You know what? The first one's free and the second one's free too, Taisha. So it's all good. And so that was our last speaker for the public session. And so as always, I'd like to thank members of the public for coming out. It's always great to learn about the new programs and hear updates on the work that folks are doing. And that was my time. Yeah, that's it. And so do I have a motion to adjourn? All right. So this meeting is adjourned at 8:40 p.m. So it's funny. I was going to tell you guys. Wait. Hey, Happy New Year, my man. Thank you as well. Always. I was going to tell you guys. Yeah, cheers.